The maker and tinker community may be a small community worldwide, but it contains some amazing people. Today I have the great pleasure of talking to Dan from Dan Makes Things, a channel I followed for some time around Dan's companion bipedal robot and also his other great projects. Hi, I'm John, your concierge to the world of the Raspberry Pi Pico, Pico 2, robotics, IoT and other fun tech. Remember to subscribe and join the community. This is my highlight video of my fireside chat with Dan. If you have time, why not check out the full video? I'm delighted to welcome Dan from Dan Makes Things to the channel today. So hello Dan, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be on the show.
A few people out there in the world of YouTube who aren't following you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and your channel?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Dan. I'm a software engineer, and I've been a software engineer for about 20 years. And a few years ago, during lockdown, I started dabbling in electronics and robotics and that kind of thing. And what I was trying to do really was just teach people what I had learned so they could follow along on the journey of kind of me exploring with these things. And I like building things. I'm not very good at making names for things. So I created a YouTube channel, which was Dan Makes Things. And I started posting as I started experimenting. And that has grown over the last 3 or 4 years to a fairly decent sized Instagram and also YouTube channel as well.
So the companion robot, what I very much think of as DB1, it is because he is, isn't he? Was that the first robot, or did you actually tinker with some other ones first?
Yes and no. So I did have a bit of a mess with, getting some motors, getting an Arduino, and kind of trying to build something. And I had no idea what I was doing back then. So I had a 5-volt battery pack, and I thought that could power the motors with a boost converter and that kind of thing. And of course, it wouldn't move because there wasn't enough current and all of those sorts of things. So I had a few ideas, and I didn't have a 3D printer, so I built some things out of wood, and it was slow and hard and tedious. During COVID and during lockdown, I started messing around with an idea I had of a little desktop companion robot. And it wasn't anything like this. At the time, it was a cube. It was this small cube that would pop up from its base, and it could kind of turn its head and move, and it had strips of lights going all the way around the inside of the thing. I started to get a bit disillusioned by all of that. And then at the same time, I was, as you probably guessed, I was playing that Star Wars game Fallen Order that came out, and really fell in love with the character from that. And I thought, you know what, this would be a really nice thing to have as a desktop companion, even if it can't climb on your back and run around with you and do all the things that it does in the game. I like the form factor. I like the look of it. I thought it was very impressive.
If you went back and you were going to give yourself some advice, what would be your advice starting on this journey?
That's an interesting one because, we've talked about the technologies used and whether we do things differently. And bear in mind, if I was starting it at that same point in time, there wouldn't really be much in the way of other options. I think the big thing for me is that I always try and over-engineer a solution to something. So, for example, I wanted BD1. I didn't want something that looked like BD1 for the sake of YouTube and Instagram. I wanted to build the thing. I wanted to make it work and behave the way. And so what I ended up with was a solution that allowed me to do a ton of configurability, all of those modules that I added, all of the work that I did to build the software that it runs on. But if I was just looking to get up and running with the hardware and something that could move around and could kind of animate like that, that's 10% of the work. And I think my challenge is that I try to do everything at once because I want to make everything work and then work on pulling it all together into one cohesive project.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. This has been an enlightening chat, and we will all keep watching the channel and see how things progress.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
If you like this video and it helps your learning or projects, why not drop me a cash tip using the super thanks button below the video. Remember, I'm saving these up to get myself to open source in San Francisco next year, and I'd appreciate your help in getting me there, and I hope to see you there too. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please do hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. Bye bye for now.